A pot of endless resources. It seems there was another lie along with the one that money doesn't grow on trees, when they said there also wasn't an endless pot of money. Because although we get told there isn't one, it would appear the opposite is true. Another Freedom of Information request to a local council reports that it spent over £28,000 on driving lessons for new arrivals, which is the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the spending spree that is occurring, at home and abroad. Given by way of councils and government grants and contracts, they are dishing out free housing, food, technology, travel, theatre, driving, taxis, translators, education, dentists, healthcare, and so on. It's absolutely staggering. And at the same time as people who have paid into the system for a lifetime or two are being told to move along, get to the back, and in some cases, being ignored altogether, while they are tightening the screw on everyone else. It's suspicious, and has been noticed. The natives are no longer a profitable commodity, it would seem, so they are there to be bled dry. And while the new locals get their foot under the table, facilitated by those in charge, always talking about what they will do, but never actually doing anything, and that too has been noticed. So how is it that there is now a huge, endless money pot, or rather money pit? Because they are chucking more and more into it, while taking more and more from people to do so. Taking more taxes, stealing from the future as well as the present, to pay for this strange turn of events. It's almost as if they have been given the keys to everyone's piggy bank, and have blown the lot in a day, and now they are working on separating you from what else you have. Greed and lack of consequences has created quite the ugly monster, where the ones who are apparently in charge of all that money and all those decisions have quite simply lost the plot, playing to a different tune than one would expect in times such as this, which is why many question who is actually pulling the strings, and rightly so, because what we hear and what we see doesn't match up at all. They say one thing and do another, which to be fair is quite in line with what politicians do. We are used to them saying what they need to get to the finish line. Then all seems forgotten thereafter, and they are on a new mission of staying put. But as we are reaching a very delicate stage in the game they are playing with people's lives, it needs to be addressed that they are the problem. Each area of finance and industry is being bankrupted and corrupted, after years of being tied in through schemes and incentives, subsidies and grants. Many companies are having the rug pulled out from under them, unable to survive without those government handouts, as was meant to happen. Same with everything else they appear to give you. It's to get you into the system, to keep you in the system, and ultimately means that then you can't survive without the system. No going back discussed that in more detail, but just handing over vast quantities of money, constantly, is clearly no longer working, as it has become like free-flowing water to them, meaning nothing and treated as such. But they want people to carry the worry and burden of paying more, getting bogged down by the mire that is the government. It seems though that if they want to have everyone playing along with the corporate theme, then that should be the way to hold them to account for things. Because if we are playing that game, then there should be rules and contracts for services that we ourselves should be operating under as agreed upon by ourselves. As apparently our strawman identity is what is used by them to dictate our lives, and discussed in The Straw That Broke the Camel's Back, it would seem reasonable that we then understand that there are two separate identities, our corporate one and our living one. And just as they put things in place to decide we should pay this tax, and pay that fine, and pay that toll that they made up, why can't we do the same? When they screw up or take more than is reasonable, invoicing them for your time or loss of earnings, holding them to account for mistakes and cancelling services if they are no longer up to standard. Because if we all sat down and worked out an actual monetary rate for each minute of our time, we would realise just how valuable it is, and then worked out how much of it has been taken from us in forced attendance for things, taking us away from real life experience and your family, we would be shocked and definitely be looking for compensation. Spend your time wisely, because otherwise someone else will try and use it to make them money.